y'all. Welcome to another episode of Church Guys Like Sport. I need y'all to tune on in, share this, y'all. Let's go. Let's talk some sports. Come on. But I need you to clap your hands before we go there. Jake Langley, bless you, man. Welcome to Church Guys Like Sports. What's up, Jake? What's up, Sister Fisher? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Church Guys Like Sports. Listen, you can love God and love sports. And I know some of you heard that song. You might have never heard it before. That's going to be on our new CD, New York Fellowship Mass Choir, coming out by the summer, maybe before the summertime. And listen, I'm telling you, this might be the best CD that we've ever done. We got Jake Langley on there, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, Earl Jones Jr., Lily and Lloyd, Rodney McFarlane. What's my lady name? Evangelist Lorraine Stencil. So many. But listen, we got to talk about some sports. We're going to get back to talking music. I'm coming on to do some music tonight, Godfather Records. But we're going to talk some sports. I need you to share this with every sports fan you know. We're going to talk about it. I am sick of this stuff, and I don't want nobody to say nothing about my Knicks. Oh, take that Knicks stuff off. I will not take it off. I am a proud New York Knicks fan, and all of y'all talking about you ain't from Brooklyn if you ain't a Brooklyn Nets fan. I am from Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And I like the Nets, but I will never choose the Nets over the Knicks. The Knicks are the mecca of the basketball world. The Knicks are always going to be the king of New York. So let me tell you what these Brooklyn Nets done went and did. Let's deal with these Brooklyn Nets. It is reported to me, first of all, they already have James Harden. They already have Kyrie Irving. They already have Kevin Durant. Deacon Parker, bless you. So you got James Harden, you got Kevin Durant, and you got Kyrie Irving. Then they got DeAndre Jordan as well. Then they go get Blake Griffin. So I'm like, okay, they're going to leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. They're going to go get Blake Griffin, and that's going to be it. But then LaMarcus Aldridge was thinking about coming to the Knicks. They go and get LaMarcus Aldridge. Do you see what's going on here? First of all, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were supposed to come to the Knicks. And you know what happened? The Brooklyn Nets stole them from us. They stole them. They won't let us have nothing. They stole them from us. So now the Brooklyn Nets, they aren't trying to compete for a championship. They are trying to buy a championship. And this stuff has to stop. Because some of y'all that are big sports fans, you will remember some years ago when Kobe Bryant tried to get Chris Paul with the Lakers to go with him and Paul Gasol, the commissioner, David Stern, at the time, blocked that deal. He blocked it and said that that would be unfair to the competition to have two of the best guards. At that time, Chris Paul was the best point guard and Kobe Bryant was the best shooting guard. And he said it would be unfair. So how is it fair for Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and LaMarcus Aldridge to be all on the same team? How is it fair? But I got news for you. There's only one basketball. And when you got too many superstars, somebody ain't gonna want to share the mic. Welcome to Church Guys Like Sports Too. You see, when you got superstars, everybody ain't willing to relinquish their stardom. That's just like in church. Everybody can't preach every Sunday. So what do you do when you don't preach on Sunday and you are anointed to preach and you are anointed? Find something else to do. Go clean the bathroom. Go make sure the pastor's office is clean. Pick up some tissue off the floor. Do stuff like that. But sadly, you got some people that when they don't have the mic in their hands, oh, Lord help me, they are useless. So what's going to happen in Brooklyn when they don't have the ball in their hand? LaMarcus Aldridge is used to having the ball. He's used to being the superstar of the team. Hello. Blake Griffin's used to being a superstar of the team. But now you got to be a role player. I don't think it's going to work. You can get all the players you want. But until they learn to play together and somebody take a back seat and let somebody else be the star, it ain't going to work. And that's why I'm telling y'all the New York Knicks got a chance to come out the East. Because don't forget, they got to get past the Knicks before they worry about the Lakers. All of this that the Brooklyn Nets are doing is to get past the Knicks. They're tired of being the little brother to the big brother because New York will always be a Knicks town. New York will always be a Knicks town. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if they can go get Kobe Bryant, raise him from the grave. They can go get Michael Jordan. New York will always be a Knicks town. Just like no matter what the New York Mets do, and the New York Mets have won a World Series in 1980, whatever. New York baseball, New York will always be a Yankees town. Always. Ain't nothing you could do about it. And I'm telling y'all right now, y'all Brooklyn Nets fans jumping out the bandwagon, just jumping on the bandwagon. You can't buy a championship. And you know what? You know what the Lakers go and do because Brooklyn did this? The Lakers go get Andre Drummond. Look at here. The Lakers already won the championship. And contrary to popular belief, they got better. They went and got Dennis Schroeder. So now you got LeBron, Anthony Davis, Schroeder, Kuzma, all them boys. And now you go get another all-star, Andre Drummond, who was supposed to come to the Knicks. Ain't no competition no more. Everybody, it's something. Why everybody want to play with each other instead of against each other? And don't none of them want to come to the Knicks. But that's all right. Because my Knicks and the Lakers are in the same position. We both in fourth place in our conference. Y'all never thought you'd see the day. All y'all, they were talking. I want somebody to go get Joe Harley. Get Joe Harley on here. Because Joe ain't from New York. I don't think Joe from New York. I met Joe. He was in Mississippi in the Army. But I need to get Joe Harley on here because Joe Harley, he live in New York and he don't like the Knicks. Joe Harley need to come back to the Knicks. You need to come back. All of y'all that used to be Knicks fans, I'm welcoming you back because the Knicks are balling. Knicks are going home. How we going home? Well, in order for us to go home, first thing we got to do is be in the playoffs. And the Knicks are going to the playoff for the first time in a long time. And we're going to get a number one, for the first top 4 seeds. And this is what I'm waiting on. This is what's going to happen. I can't wait till the Knicks and the Nets play in the playoffs. You talk about a Subway Series. You take one train from Madison Square Garden to the Barclays right there. You'll be there in 15 minutes. And I'm telling you, when the Knicks face off against the Nets, that's going to shut the city down. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going out there with my tamarine and my New York Knicks prayer shawl. I don't care if they don't let me in the game. I'm gonna be outside screaming and hollering. And all of this that the Brooklyn Nets are doing, they're gonna fall to the New York Knicks. See, you're not paying, and they're not paying attention to the Knicks. I don't see ESPN talking about them. Fox Sports ain't talking about them. CNN ought to be talking about the Knicks because the Knicks been bad for so long. Now that we good, you know, everybody talking about the Lakers, the Clippers, the Utah Jazz, the Nets. But while y'all keep sleeping on us, we number 4 in the East. Keep sleeping. They talk about Miami Heat. Miami Heat went and got all these players, and the Knicks just sitting there with Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett. You see, we building a team. We ain't buying a team. We drafted and training players how to play together. We ain't going to get all the superstars to play with us. And when the Brooklyn Nets face the Knicks in the playoffs, you gonna see something. Because there's only one basketball. We ain't got to defend the players. We got to defend the ball. And the Knicks are the number 1 defensive team in the NBA right now. And you think Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they got all these players? I heard they just signed Manny Pacquiao. And the New York Knicks gonna shock the world. Because don't forget, and I ain't gonna blame them, this ain't the first team. LeBron James started this foolishness. When he went down there with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Ray Allen and got all them players. Don't forget, that first year, they lost to that old boring San Antonio Spurs team. Or matter of fact, it was either the Spurs or the Dallas Mavericks beat them. Yeah, you remember LeBron said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. He ain't get all them championships Miami was supposed to win. They only got 2. And one of them was from a last-second shot by Ray Allen. So I ain't worried about the Brooklyn Nets. All y'all walk around here with Brooklyn Nets shirts on. And again, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't hate them, but I'm not going to choose the Nets over the Knicks. Loose here. New York will always be a Knicks town. And the Knicks are number 4. How many of y'all thought the Knicks were going to be in one of the top 4 teams in the NBA? Who thought that? Only me. And I feel like I'm on the island by myself because don't nobody think the Knicks gonna do nothing but me. But listen to the prophet. Listen to the prophet. The Knicks are going to the playoff. The Knicks are going to beat the Nets in the playoff. I'm telling you now. I was with Prophet Jordan the other day. He told me that. Prophet Bernard Jordan said that the Knicks are going to win, going to beat the Nets in the playoffs. These are the hours of the prophet. Master Prophet Jordan told me. Yeah. So I'm telling y'all, get hyped all you want. And LeBron, he out there doing all this stuff in LA. It ain't gonna work for them neither. It ain't gonna work for them neither. Go and get Andre Drummond. They better worry about the Clippers. And the Lakers look horrible without LeBron and without Anthony Davis. Because you know what place the Lakers are in the West? They in fourth place. Same place as the Knicks in the East. Now, they say, super teams didn't start with LeBron. Magic Johnson had a super team with Kareem. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 90 years old when Magic Johnson came to the Lakers. The man was bald-headed, had glasses, goggles on, and was 90 years old. So you can't say that was a super team. Oh, well, then the Lakers had Shaq, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton. Gary Payton was an old man. Karl Malone was an old man. And then they said that the Celtics did it with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. That's only 3 players. Then they had Rondo. Rondo was a rookie that they drafted. So when Magic was on the Lakers in the early 80s and when he got there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't averaging no 30 points. That wasn't the same Kareem. He was old. Kareem was old. And you see, what if Magic, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan played on the same team? That's what these boys doing now. What if Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley and all these fellas played on the same team? See, back then, I really enjoyed basketball because they wanted to play against each other. They wanted to fight each other. They wanted competition. And the Knicks, they different. See, these Knicks remind me of the Knicks of the 90s. We play hard. They play tough. We ain't soft. You see, the NBA done gone soft. You can't even breathe on nobody without getting a technical foul. You see, and these Knicks are playing tough. I was watching some video the late Anthony Mason playing basketball. I didn't know if he was boxing, wrestling, football, or basketball. That's how I grew up. All this soft playing. LeBron James, 6'9", 280 pounds, all muscle, and always falling on the floor crying and whatnot. Grow up, LeBron. So I ain't gonna keep. Now hold on. Somebody said the Celtics, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Dennis Scott, Robert Parrish. That's not a super team. The Celtics had a squad, but he didn't have all of the top players on his team. Kevin McHale and Larry Bird, everybody, you need at least 2 or 3 stars. But look what the Nets done did. They got Kyrie, Kevin Durant, who won an MVP, James Harden, who won an MVP, Blake Griffin. Don't forget, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, they ran the Clippers. That was Lob City. Now they got Lob City with Brooklyn. And then they went and got all-star LaMarcus Aldridge. See, some of y'all sleeping on Aldridge. Aldridge is a 7-footer that can shoot that shot, that mid-range shot. He can play defense. He's come from Greg Popovich. So, yeah, the Brooklyn Nets still got a jail. Kevin Durant ain't played in 2 months. So all y'all thinking it's more than just getting the best players. Because what? Let me show you something. With doing music, you can get the best organist, the best keyboard player, the best drummer, the best bass player, and the best guitar player, and they will sound a mess together if they don't gel together. Somebody got to know their part. Somebody got to know when it ain't their turn to shine. And if they don't gel together, it ain't going to work. So I ain't worried about it because the Knicks is doing something. Y'all been sleeping on R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett, I think R.J. Barrett got a chance to get Most Improved Player of the Year. Julius Randle is an MVP candidate. Derrick Rose he done came back to his MVP days. Watch. I ain't gonna keep telling you. You watch. We beat the Milwaukee Bucks the other night without Julius Randle and without Mitchell Robinson getting hurt. We beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And I ain't worried about the Philadelphia 76ers neither. All right. Baseball season is getting ready to start. And this is my pick. I know a lot of us don't really watch baseball too much, but the Mets have a shortstop named Francisco Lindor. And the New York Mets, I am picking them to go to the World Series. That's right. I said it. I'm picking the New York Mets to go to the World Series. Not just because I'm from New York, but they got a lot of them Puerto Rican boys on that team. And listen, when you got a Puerto Rican that can speak English, you got you a good baseball player on your hand. I'm not talking about the ones that need them interpreters. And I'm going to say this to all them Puerto Ricans, Cubans and whatnot that been playing in the Major League Baseball League for over 2-3 years. You ought to have learned the language by now. We stop this foolishness with all these interpreters. You getting paid $50 million, $100 million, and all this stuff. You ought to know the language by now. You making $150 million. You've been on the team for 5 years, and you still got somebody interpreting. Get out of here. Loose here with that foolishness. You need to know this language. You making this American money. Speak this American language. So I really believe that the Mets are going to the World Series. I ain't going to say they're going to win it, but remember I said it. They are going to the World Series. The Yankees is trouble with the Yankees. Let me tell you what's going on with the Yankees. Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez was scheduled to get married. You see, nobody wanted to talk about this. They don't talk about this on the other sports shows, but I'm going to give it to you. Jennifer Lopez, y'all know that singer, they call her J-Lo. She was supposed to get married to the former Yankee Alex Rodriguez. And she broke up with Alex Rodriguez. It is reported to me that this is allegedly that she broke up with him for Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is the new outfielder for the Yankees, the new home run king of New York. Well, Willis, yes, I did say the Knicks were going to the playoff last year, but COVID stopped everything. So we did not get eliminated from the playoff. We just weren't invited. You see, that's how the NBA do. They invited a whole bunch of people down to the bubble to play for the playoff, but they didn't invite the Knicks. And that's okay. This year, we don't need an invite, because if they did the same thing this year, they won't invite us again. But we going to play our way in. We don't need no invitation. You see, that's what I like about the Knicks. We don't need an invitation. We just bust up in there. You don't want to invite us? We're going to play and we're going to bust up in the playoffs. And that was unfair because they invited Zion Williamson and his team down there, and they weren't as good as the Knicks, but they wanted Zion. They wanted him down there in the bubble, and they invited him down there, and they didn't make the playoff. So why they invite the Knicks? They scared of us. Oh, they scared of the Knicks. But back to Aaron Judge. J-Lo is reportedly dating Aaron Judge. And Dr. Harden, I think allegedly J-Lo did catch A-Rod cheating. But I don't know if she caught him cheating with another female or another male. A-Rod always had a little flair to him. He always looked like he had a tambourine in the shower. But J-Lo is now dating Aaron Judge. What does that say about J-Lo? That she goes from one baseball player to another. What does that say about you, Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the block? You can't go from Alex Rodriguez to all of a sudden now you with Aaron Judge. And I'm going to say, well, Dr. Harden beat me to it. If that is the truth, her name is no longer J-Lo, but it's J-Ho. If that's the truth, if you dump Alex Rodriguez and you are now with Aaron Judge, another baseball player, and, well, since I'm already out here, welcome to Church Guys Like Sports. You can't date two people. You can't rock with two people from the same circle. You can't do that. Ladies, you can't do that. Fellas, you can't do that neither. Ladies, you cannot rock with two dudes from the same circle. You can't do that. That's why LeBron James got rid of that boy Delonte West. Well, that was a whole nother situation. He slept with LeBron James' mother, and LeBron James found out about it, and you ain't heard. Next time you see Delonte West, he's on the side of the highway in Dallas begging for change. Aaron Judge is a baby. I think Aaron Judge might be 26 years old, and J-Lo in her 50s. You can't rock with two people from the same team. Alex Rodriguez works for the Yankees. Aaron Judge plays for the Yankees. And they, oh, well, you can't say that, Pastor Wright. No. Listen, they gonna call you names. If you rocking with two people from the same family, you rocking with two people from the same band, you rocking with two people from the same choir, you rocking with more than two people in the same church, loose here. I said it. Well, let me leave that alone. I don't want to upset my viewers. Now, last thing I'm going to talk about is Deshaun Watson. And this is serious, y'all, because Deshaun Watson now has 18 accusers. Watch this. Black man, $160 million contract. Requests a trade from a racist organization in Houston, Texas. Never been in trouble. And all of a sudden, 18 sexual assault allegations. No charges filed. No criminal charges filed. Only civil charges, which means they just want the money. 18. And there has been no evidence. We've been waiting for 3 weeks. We've been talking about this for 3 weeks. And there's been no evidence of it. Oh, I'm going somewhere. There's been no evidence. The lawyers haven't produced any evidence. They say they got these text messages, and we still haven't seen incriminating text messages. And they are trying to blackball Deshaun Watson. They are trying to blackball Deshaun Watson. And this has been in the news now for 3 weeks. This has been in the news now for 3 weeks. And what happened, he got a massage. Went and got a massage and he got naked for the massage. Anybody that ever got a massage from professionals, sometimes they tell you to get naked or get down to your trousers. And the lady, one accuser said he was undressing me with his eyes and I felt uncomfortable. And I want $200,000. If you got to pay $200,000 for what you looking at, then we all going to go broke. All of us, every last one of us. Deshaun Watson undressed me with his eyes and I felt uncomfortable. And we've been dealing with this for 3 weeks, waiting for some more evidence. That boy didn't rape nobody. He didn't rape nobody. Now, NFL and ESPN analysts and all those that talk about this, there is a man named Chad Wheeler who several months ago choked and beat his black girlfriend almost to death. He thought he killed her. Let me show you the difference. That was in the news for 3 days. And we ain't never heard nothing else about it. We ain't heard nothing else about the courts. We ain't heard nothing else about nothing going on with that white football player that choked and almost killed his black girlfriend. But Deshaun Watson, who really I don't think did nothing for 3 weeks, has been in and out of the news. Oh, I tell you, you got to have the complexion for the protection. You look it up. His name is Chad Wheeler. ChadWheeler. And when the black girl woke up, he said, "Oh, I thought you was dead." That's what he told her. He choked her out, almost killed her, thought he killed her, and went to drink his smoothie and saw her moving. Oh, he said, "Oh, you still alive?" But we don't hear nothing about that. What's going on with that case? But these folks want to dog out Deshaun Watson. They want to talk about Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson ain't even ever had a traffic ticket. So we need to speak up for Deshaun Watson. Now, I know the Me Too movement. I support the Me Too movement, but come on, you can't say sexual assault. Somebody is talking about, "Oh, he undressed me with his eyes." That ain't no sexual assault. And the bad thing is there are some women out here that are really being abused, really being assaulted, really being sexually assaulted, really being mishandled wrong. And those that are not, making it bad for the ones that are really getting it. This is a big money grab. And Deshaun Watson refused to pay. One lady said, if you give me $150,000, I won't say nothing. And he said, nope, I didn't do nothing wrong. So shout out to Deshaun Watson. I hope they clear his name. And this is, I'm going to say this, and some of y'all may disagree. If it is found that these women are lying on him, they should go to jail. If we can get proof that these women are lying and they are trying to get money from him, they should go to jail. Give them 5 years. And if you do that, that'll stop all these folks with all these lies. Because you can't ruin a man's character, ruin a man's career, because he undressed you with his eyes. I told y'all, they done got rid of Pepe Le Pew, because they said Pepe Le Pew was sexually harassing that little cat, that little skunk, whatever it was. If they gonna go after Pepe Le Pew and say he was harassing that cat, let me tell you, Miss Piggy need to go to jail, because Miss Piggy was harassing Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog was trying to get away from her, and she would, come here, Kermit, and grabbed up on him and made Kermit the Frog do things to her. You seen one time in the back of the car, Kermit the Frog was trying to get out, and she pulled him down, and they went down in the car, and then they came up, and Kermit the Frog was all scared looking. Hello. We need to start a men's Me Too movement. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Church Guys Like Sports. Listen, you can love God and love sports. Loving God doesn't take the man out of you. You can be a woman and love sports, and it don't make you no funny dyke or anything. Thank you again. If you want to put something in the Cash App, it's down on the bottom. Shout out to the New York Knicks.
Church Guys Like Sports too. Ain't that right, D-Right?
This is the new New York Knicks theme song. That's right, Burton, Dr. Burton.
Big city of dreams.
That's what she was doing. Get over here, like Mortal Kombat. Lock up Miss Piggy.
1973 was the last year. We brought a championship ring here. Lift your hands, Knicks fans. You now have a right to go buck in the stand. Knicks, we here. Keep your head up. New York Knicks, this is your year. Some doubters, some laughed at us. Some went to Brooklyn, some went to Dallas. Shout out to the true Knicks fans who stayed the course. Hope for a ring even though we still lost. Shout out to Coach Tibbs and KP. Not the unicorn, but the man from Kentucky. Got Julius playing like a North Star. He the truth and ain't no stopping no top. IQ, gonna have to guard and going crazy. Every night the kid never ceased to amaze me. K Knox, he work around the clock.